Coming up on OU Nightly, the Pauls Valley principal who stopped a school shooter is being hailed a hero. See how he's being honored. And a bill headed back to the Oklahoma House could shake up the transfer system for student athletes. Plus, graduation is right around the corner, the challenges students are facing as they look for a job. This is OU Nightly.
An Oklahoma principal is receiving a national honor for his bravery. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Kevin Daniel.
And I'm Cariana Gamboa. OU Nightly's Reagan Garvin is in studio tonight with the details now. Reagan, what was the moment that earned him this award?
Kevin, Cariana, Pauls Valley High School principal Kirk Moore is being recognized for the moment he heroically stepped in when a shooter came into his school. The National Association of School Resource Officers announced that Moore will be receiving the National Award of Valor. According to NASRO's website, the award is given for a single act of courage and valor above and beyond that expected of normal incidents or actions of a school staff member. Here you can see the gunman, a 2025 graduate of the school, entering with his gun pointed before Moore tackles him, the very act of honor that earned him this award. Moore was shot in the leg in the struggle, but was able to stop the gunman before he shot anyone else. And this is technically his second honor. His students crowned him prom king in the days after the shooting to award his bravery. Kevin, Cariana.
Thanks, Reagan. The Award of Valor will be presented to Moore at NASRO's conference in Nevada this June.
The Oklahoma Senate advanced a bill on Wednesday about student-athlete transfer eligibility requirements in secondary schools. OU Nightly's Gracie Stubblefield is in the newsroom. Gracie, what are the revisions being made to the bill?
Cariana, House Bill 2153, which I have here in my hands, originally focused on eliminating the current state law requiring student athletes to sit out for 1 year after transferring schools. Revisions made to the bill now allow the Oklahoma Secondary School Activities Association more power to decide eligibility matters without pushback from the current requirements. This legislation, is one of several bills introduced in hopes of more transparency from OSSAA and was met with significant opposition just last week. Despite more authority, OSSAA would have to comply with Oklahoma's Open Meetings Act, which requires all public bodies to give advance notice of scheduled meetings. For the final time, back to you guys.
Thanks, Gracie. The bill will now return to the Oklahoma House of Representatives, where lawmakers will review the revised proposal. Now, Kevin, it's been nice out, and I've been finally loving that break from severe weather.
Yes, Cariana, especially with May starting tomorrow. Now, OU Nightly meteorologist Hunter Brittingham is in studio and has what you should look out for.
Kevin and Cariana, we are certainly getting a break from that severe weather and also some rain chances. So we do have our rain down to the south for our friends down in Texas and up to the north up in Kansas. And we are not really seeing any of that precipitation, but unfortunately we are dealing with the allergies. So without the rain, we are seeing grass, trees, and mold in the high categories. Weed is hanging out in the low category, but still something that you're going to notice if you are heading outside. Coming up, I will definitely have a look at temperatures to start off the month of May, as well as some hit or miss showers and an update on the drought monitor.
Thanks, Hunter. A major deal in Washington could end the partial government shutdown. Jack Hancock has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
75 days into a partial government shutdown, the House of Representatives votes to reopen key parts of the Department of Homeland Security. TSA will receive funding. However, Immigration and Customs Enforcement will not. The deal comes as the pressure intensified on House GOP leaders to reach a deal before they recess next week. The bill will now go to the president's desk. And Louisiana is delaying some of their primary elections. Earlier this week, the Supreme Court invalidated the state's congressional map, calling it racial gerrymandering. Early voting was scheduled to start on Saturday. The state's Republican-controlled Congress says they are preparing a new map and will set a new date for the election. The Republican primary for Senate will continue as expected on May 16th. Camp Mystic, the Texas summer camp where 28 people died in flooding last summer, is withdrawing their request to reopen. Camp leaders said they will not seek an application for a camp license this year. This follows an investigation from Texas lawmakers painting a bleak image of camp leadership's actions during the flooding. Lawmakers urged the family that owns the camp not to reopen. And today, President Donald Trump took to Truth Social saying ABC should fire Jimmy Kimmel following a joke he made about Melania Trump, adding, quote, "It better be soon." Disney has declined to comment on the calls to fire Kimmel. Kiriana, Kevin.
Thanks, Jack. If you need a break from your final studies, look no further.
We'll have several events in Norman for you to get away from the finals grind coming up.
And a familiar face from Campus Corner may be missing. However, the legacy lives on.
We'll have the story of how one man strung his guitar and touched the lives of those on Campus Corner after the break.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
No, no, no. Turn it down. Turn it off. Get a hand. Lose the bells and whistles. Drive without distractions.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. While Campus Corner remains bustling, there is one thing, or rather one man, missing from the scene. OU Nightly's Bryn Mead has more.
This scene may look and feel all too familiar, but a certain sound is missing from this spot.
It goes, Jesus never carried a Bible.
For years, the concrete ground of Campus Corner was Bob's stage.
Propped up in front of Pepe's is where he was usually playing.
He was a constant for students who roamed this street at night. But on Tuesday night, on January 20th, that familiar guitar strum fell silent. According to the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to a structure fire at Moore's home just before 8 p.m. The scene of Moore's trailer ablaze and covered in smoke. But it was too late. Bob Moore, also known as Space Dog, touched the lives of Normanites for decades. He wasn't just a performer, but a teacher. His close friend Jim Bachman would vouch for that.
But he was teaching me bass lessons for a while. And so I met him on the corner up here where he would play music and sat down with my bass and practiced with him.
And while the ashes are what remains of Moore's home, his memory burns on.
I think this place kind of feels a little quieter without him.
Oh, yeah.
Campus Corner may see new musical characters throughout the years, but none quite like Space Dog.
Yeah, his song about legalize marijuana and pay off the national debt, which you can find if you search online.
The lights are still just as bright on Campus Corner, but somewhere on the wall by Pepe Delgado's, you can almost still hear the music.
So thank you, Bob. Thank you for all the good times, and we miss you.
From Norman, Bryn Mead, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Bryn. This past weekend, the Norman Music Festival held a tribute in Bob Moore's honor for the community.
Staying in Norman this weekend is filled with events for everyone. There's plenty for couples, families, and even for those who don't want to get out of the house alone. Leah Smith has that in today's Around Town report.
Kevin, Cariana, this weekend is the Norman Pride Festival. There are plenty of activities to join in on the festivities. The kickoff ceremony begins at 6 p.m. tomorrow night with an after party to follow. Saturday, the festival will be held from noon to 11 p.m. with an after party as well. And Sunday will be stacked with a 5K, a brunch, a parade, and an awards ceremony. More details can be found at normanokpride.org. And it's a busy weekend at Pino's Palette with both singles and couples painting classes for you to enjoy. Friday night will be a couples class titled I Love You, I Know from 7 to 9. Saturday at noon will be a Dinosaurs at Dusk class. At 3:30 there will be a Lilacs and Glass class. At 7 will be a Northern Night Lights class. And Sunday at 3 there will be a Lavender Breeze class. And it is for the final live music roundup of the spring. Tonight, Hosty will be performing at Othello's Italian restaurant beginning at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Before the ink dries, we'll be at Yellow Dog Coffee Company at 11 a.m. Sunday night, Hosty will be back at the deli at 10, and he will play at the deli Monday night at 10 as well. For more information on these events and others around town, be sure to check out visitnorman.com. Kevin, Cariana, back to you.
Thanks, Leah. As OU students prepare to graduate in a matter of weeks, a shifting job market could make the job hunt more difficult for some of those students.
We'll have more on the current post-grad job market after the break.
And it's been a dreary day out there, but we are starting to see some peaks out of the clouds with some sunshine. I'll have details after the break.
Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, if your shower can fill a 1-gallon bucket in less than 20 seconds, replace the shower head with a water-efficient one. They are cheap, easy to install, and can save you up to 750 gallons a month. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
It has been a gorgeous day out there. Like Cariana said earlier, we are seeing a break in that severe weather. So, I mean, it is just absolutely great weather. We are still seeing some of those clouds stick around, but if you have those furry friends, they would love to get out in this weather because we are seeing the cooler temperatures out there as well. So I don't know, do you guys have any furry friends out there that you can go walk this evening?
No, unfortunately, I've never had any pets. I'd love to have one.
Maybe there's like a bunch of like stray cats around my apartment that I like to have, but like, yeah, I love going outside with them. How about you, Hunter?
Yeah, I have a dog, Atlas. He just turned 1 last month. So he is going to be on the next screen, and we are going to be seeing him shortly here. But as you can see here, he is here off to the left, or off to the right, my little fur baby there. So 66 degrees right now in Norman, and we are seeing those feel like temperatures of 66 degrees. So I am certainly going to be taking my dog, my buddy Atlas, out for a walk after this weather hits. So 67 degrees for this updated temperature map in Norman, 67 up in Tulsa. All throughout the central and southern plains, we are seeing those lower to middle 60s and some cooler air off to the Rockies. We are seeing those winds as well coming out of the northeast. So right here, 11 miles per hour in Norman, and some of those winds are starting to shift off out of the east across portions of southwestern Oklahoma as well, where they are blowing up to 13 miles per hour right now in Lawton. So we did miss out on some good rain opportunities earlier in the week and over the weekend. Now we did see a little bit of rain across much of the Sooner State, so we are seeing some improvements from our drought monitor, which updates every Thursday, but the data is imported every Tuesday. And as we can see here, we are still seeing a lot of that extreme drought right here in middle Oklahoma, and Norman on that cusp of moderate to severe drought still. So we could certainly use some rain heading into the month of May. Futurecast this evening, we are seeing a return of those clouds. As I mentioned, a few breaks in those clouds as well. Those will clear out, but we will see some precipitation, some scattered showers and storms off to the west in the Texas Panhandle, as well as down south across the Red River for our friends in North Texas. Temperatures are going to be remaining mild, but we will not be seeing much of that rain able to creep up to the north. We might see a few showers work their way in from the south on the day Saturday, but those will be short-lived, and temperatures returning much seasonable back into those lower to middle 70s, and again some cooler temperatures into the middle 50s for your overnight lows. Heading into the month of May, this is about 6 to 10 days out, so we are starting to see some below average precip for the northern plains, which have seen a lot of severe weather lately, and some above average precipitation down here for our southern friends. So we could be seeing some precipitation to help us out, as well as we will be seeing our temperatures again below average heading into the month of May. So I know it's been hot out there for some of those days as well, but it would be nice to see a return to some more seasonable temperatures, which we certainly have on the board for you. So for tomorrow, we're going to be seeing a lot more clouds, temperatures back in those middle 60s, and then a return of sunshine throughout the weekend and into the first work week of May, with temperatures rebounding back into the lower 80s.
Thanks, Hunter. A recent jobs report is pointing to a potential slowdown in hiring nationwide. Economists say that could mean, a tougher job market for students. OU Nightly reporter Skylar Ross has more.
Concerns are growing after a recent jobs report showed signs of a hiring slowdown across the economy.
I think it's fair to say that this jobs report was a bit of a surprise to most economists.
OU economics professor Greg Burge says while hiring had already been declining, the latest numbers still stood out.
There have been some kind of steady drop-offs in the level of job creation that have really been going on now for several years.
He says if that trend continues, it could signal deeper economic concerns.
If it's a structural shift and it will be something that's durable, and these new lower hiring levels are here to stay, that's where economists would probably start to worry a little bit more about something like a recession, really tight labor markets, harder to find work, that kind of a thing.
That uncertainty is already being felt by students preparing to enter the workforce.
It's been quite difficult. I feel like in this current economy, it's definitely a lot more difficult than it was 10 years ago.
Cree says new technology is also changing what employers expect from applicants.
Due to the innovations of AI, I feel like companies are really looking for certain ideals or new people that they bring on board for their company.
Burge urges students to be intentional about the skills they build before entering the job market.
All college graduates, I think, should take very seriously whether they're equipping themselves with the skills for the future labor market. But along the way, you also have to make sure you're equipping yourselves with the skills that the labor market needs.
As hiring trends shift, experts say adaptability is key in today's competitive job market. This is Skylar Ross, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Skylar. And as those hiring trends continue to shift, experts say preparation is more important than ever. Staying adaptable could help students navigate a changing job market. And in sports, there's going to be a whole lot of love on campus as two teams host the first round of the NCAA championship.
And the Swamp is coming to Norman as one of OU's team's chances of making the postseason might get chomped.
And one team is all aboard the Aggie Express, pulling into College Station to close out their regular season. I'll have that and more coming up next in sports.
Winter is upon us, and every Oklahoman knows that means unpredictable freezing temperatures. One of the main concerns with freezing temperatures is the damage they can cause to your home or business should they cause your water pipes to freeze over. Older homes, especially those without proper insulation or that have basements or crawl spaces with exposed pipes, are particularly susceptible to this. Here is Rachel Croft, City of Norman Water Treatment Plant Manager, to show you the proper steps you can take to prevent your pipes from freezing.
The good news is you don't need to run a whole lot of water in order to combat freezing from your pipes. Here's how you do it. Another thing that you can do to help is to open your cabinet doors to make sure that warm air throughout your home is getting to your faucet pipes. But you want to make sure to remove any harmful chemicals that any small children or pets could have the ability to reach.
Following these steps can help save money on your water bill and help to conserve Norman's water supply.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hello, I'm Natalie Orozco, and it's time for sports. All good things must come to an end. Not only is this the last Thursday show of the semester, but OU softball is wrapping up their regular season too. The Sooners face their 2025 SEC co-champion, the Texas A&M Aggies, in College Station for the first time since 2012. A&M has not lost an SEC home series, but Oklahoma ranks #1 nationally in batting average, runs per game, and home runs, while having the best road winning percentage in the SEC. First pitch is tonight at 8. As for OU baseball, they host a Swamp Bash against the Florida Gators for the first time. The teams last competed in 2022, where OU won to advance to the NCAA Super Regional. Now they face off in the SEC, where Florida has yet to drop a series to a ranked opponent on the road, but this is what OU plays for.
That's why you come to a school like OU and go to a conference like the SEC. You want to play the best and you want to be the best. When you get in those atmospheres, just taking time to zoom out and enjoy and know that that's really what it's all about, and just be a little kid out there. Think about if you were 10 years old and you were watching that guy out there, you'd be like, that's me now.
And tomorrow, OU men's tennis hosts Utah State for the opening round of the NCAA Championship Tournament. Winners of the first round matches go on to compete in the regional on Saturday. Also hosting is OU women's tennis for the NCAA Championship on Saturday. OU opens the tournament versus Kansas. In the NBA's Western Conference, the OKC Thunder struck out the Suns, and they wait to see who they face in the semifinals. In this waiting period, Jalen Williams, who is out with a hamstring strain, and his team aim to stay just focused.
We were just focused on Phoenix and this series, and gave that our full energy. And when we get an opponent for the next series, we'll do the same thing. You know, we just try to attack this thing in 2-week chunks. You know, all you're guaranteed is the round you're in. We've earned the right to play the second round, and now that's where our focus is.
An OU alum, Austin Reeves, made his return from an oblique strain that left him out for 9 games, putting up 22 points for the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 5 versus the Rockets. Houston took the win 99-93, and the teams will face off again for Game 6 tomorrow. And in the MLB, Cade Cavalli is making history for Washington, being the first national to have 10 strikeouts in back-to-back starts since 2020. This achievement led Washington to a 5-4 win against the New York Mets. Kevin, Cariana.
Thanks, Natalie. Now, one unlikely pairing has found their way to campus.
We'll tell you why they're here and how they'll leave an impact behind next.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
I'm Jackson here at the OU Nightly Update Desk. A new development into Barry Christian's disappearance. This afternoon, his truck was found on the side of the road in Eric, Oklahoma. Barry Christian is a candidate for Senate District 38, and he was last seen on Thursday in Beckham County in western Oklahoma. The Harmon County Sheriff's Department stated that Christian was reported missing on Wednesday after he missed a scheduled meeting. We'll keep you updated on this story. Kevin, Cariana, back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Lauren. Hunter, what do people have to look forward to this weekend with the weather?
Very seasonable conditions. Temperatures back into the 60s tomorrow, and then the 70s for Saturday, back in the 80s on Sunday to start off the first work week of May.
Awesome. Should be good if people wanted to study outside.
Absolutely.
But while those students may be preparing to move out soon, these two geese, Gus and Gertie, have made their home on campus. Right now, we're going to show you a live feed from Goddard Health Center where you can see the geese are nesting their eggs. Now, Goddard tells OU Nightly that this is the 3rd year these geese have come back.
And you can already see that 1 of 5 of the goslings has already hatched, and they say that they're expecting another one to hatch today and then the rest within the next 5 days. And Goddard also says that they're excited, that students are also excited to welcome the new family, but just from a safe distance. They want to make sure that they're keeping them safe.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? You're just walking around on campus and there's, some geese, they're migrating and they're stopping by.
I know, how cute is that? The staff there at Goddard, they told me that they're going to vote today to name the baby goslings, all 5 of them. How cute is that?
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for watching OU Nightly. I'm Kevin Daniel.
And I'm Cariana Gamboa. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.